Hi, Weather Joey here with your South Coast weather recap and forecast. I guess we got a recap. It's been a while. I think it was like the 15th or something like that. Let me check back here. It was March 15th. Sunday, March 15th, and it is now Thursday, March 26th, 2026. 26. I'm not as in a good a mood as I appear to be, so I'm going to gripe a little bit. So, lost my phone maybe 6 days ago. That was a pain in the ass. Had insurance, but had to pay $300 deductible in insurance in order to get a new phone, which I had already paid insurance for. Anyway, and all the stuff I had to do, technology, man, I don't know. I mean, they keep on telling us and have always told us it's making life easier. I know it's making life a lot better for a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but it is not making life easier. It seems to be making life a hell of a lot more complicated, and I get upset that I spend my time looking at this shit over and over with this security and this password, and you know what, it just doesn't feel right inside. I find calmness going out. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the future. I find calmness going out into nature and seeing just natural things. It centers me, and I haven't done that today, and so I feel uncentered, so you're going to get an uncentered Joey here. But regardless of being uncentered, I always feel so thankful for being here in this place, this beautiful place, because it really is. And we are guests here, us settler folks. And it's a very small gesture, but I truly, honestly feel and thank the First Nations, the people whose land belongs to, and they belong to it, and their heritage and hearts are so tied with it. I'm just beginning to understand after spending a lifetime here. Probably only a sliver, but it's in here for me. I can't imagine what it is inside of generations and generations of our fellow human beings who have grown up here. And anyway, I'm just getting too far down that road, but very thankful and open to learning and open to sharing, which I haven't felt throughout my life here. I feel like it's starting, but hasn't touched me so much. Okay, so yes, last forecast. Let's see. I'm gonna have to read off here, and now that I need glasses a little bit. Let's go to, I did do a forecast, but then lost my phone. I did one on the 22nd. And basically what I was saying is last forecast was pretty spot on, as that mild southwest atmospheric river brought plenty of rain to parts of the south coast right into the 20th. By the Friday, which I think was the 20th? 21st. 20th. Fuck, I forget. What day is the 26th? Friday was the 20th. That southwest to northeast frontal line had moved through, and in behind we saw some clearing and cooling as new high pressure built in from the west-southwest. So I'm going to go to my monthly notes here. And it says, we'll go to here, yeah. As the day of the 20th progresses, the front moves through, and we see midday clearing as new surface ridging builds in from the west-southwest with a little blast of mild, breezy air. And it's quite interesting because the last little bit of it before it starts to cool down. Now, U.S. West Coast ridging has now backed away, because remember we had that ridge up here that brings that southwest flow. Well, this kind of flattened out. That was really hot there. Remember that for such a long time. This is flattened out now, allowing Gulf of Alaska low pressure to draw cooler air in from here instead of from up there. And that's really what's been with us for a while. And it draws cooler air down the Bering Strait from the Aleutians and Bering and in from the west. Surface high pressure continues to build onto the coast for the 21st with nice sun, cooler all day. Not cool enough for frost in the morning though. And as we see the cloud move, we see cloud move through, move in late on the 21st with a weak little front moving through in this westerly flow, with a sprinkle overnight for some into that 22nd, which was a Sunday. The 22nd sees a west to west-southwest flow with hazy high cloud followed by some lower cloud through the day, dry and coolish. Low pressure continues to spin up in the Gulf of Alaska, with ridging steady over Southern California and a weak west-southwest flow across much of the west coast. From NorCal up to Haida Gwaii. So just this sort of along here, up through here, this sort of all along here, there's this kind of cloudy westerly flow. Continues through to the 23rd. However, offshore to the southwest, we see a strong little low develop and approach Vancouver Island. Rain and wind, so this isn't here. So this is low pressure. This starts to spin up here, a little coastal bomb. It's actually spinning right to the North Island. Rain and wind arrive early on the 24th as this little bomb crosses the North Island through the day with a strong push of west-southwest in behind and some clearings. The hill's got a little bit of snow. The clearing in behind, except the hills stay cloudy. We see a little hit of warm air as this low drew some milder air from the southwest, but it's just for a little bit. You'll see the temperatures go up just for a second. Sorry, I gotta look towards you if you're looking at me. However, most precip falls of snow for the hills before that mild hit. Low pressure in the Gulf of Alaska has moved further south now, with cooler air filling in behind that low, that little low that went through, and bringing a weak front in from the west-southwest, or in from the, from the west-southwest through the morning of the 25th. So today that was the 26th. We had a little front move in behind after that main front yesterday. In behind this, we see a windy mix of cloud showers through the afternoon and evening. So, where are we now? Thursday. Low pressure in the lower Gulf of Alaska continues to bring a cool mix of sun and cloud across the south coast from the west-southwest. This will bring showers for some, particularly further north, and should ease into Friday. So just this kind of flow from the west-southwest around this low. A little bit of a front across there, so more of the showers up in the North Island and more clear down here today, but that should sort of fill in, and by tomorrow evening it looks like, that's Friday evening, looks like things will really start to clear out as new high pressure, this low still kind of turning, but a surface high pressure builds in later tomorrow, Friday the 27th, as new surface ridging builds in from the west-northwest, bringing a nice cleared spring day on Saturday that might even carry into Sunday. However, by Sunday, the remnants of this G of A low will be dropping south through offshore waters, drawing some marine moisture and cloud up from the west-southwest on Sunday. And that should start coming in later day on Sunday. And then this whole thing crosses as a little trough on Sunday. Not a lot of moisture there. What does fall up in the hills will be snow, but I don't even see a ton of moisture for that. As that passes through overnight into the Monday, which is the 30th, we'll see new surface ridging build in again from this sort of west-northwest to west direction. Bringing a couple of cool, crisp, sunny spring days. Meanwhile, so that builds in for next 30th and 31st. So still mostly all kind of winter, March was. Some signs of spring, and it doesn't look like it's really going to end so much because meanwhile, low pressure up here, cold low pressure from the Aleutians, will start coming down this way into our offshore waters, bringing a cool winter spring weather into the start of April. As this low comes down and hovers around here, there'll be a mixing of warm air from up here and cool air from here. Looks like snow for the hills for the middle of next week. And really more of this kind of direction as we get into that Easter weekend. I think we're going to be still into winter. So you folks out there, there's still kind of winter. No real signs of spring or summer weather, because we start looking in April at the potential of summer days, and it doesn't look like anything like that. Yeah, but pretty dry. Pretty good. Got to chill. Got to get outside. Got to find some center, because I'm not feeling it right now. Anyway, hopefully on the next forecast I'll feel a little bit more centered. Love you in the future. Love you out there. Thank you for watching. Who's ever watching? Yeah. Thank you for giving me a heart to feel. May the forecast be with you.